Hello there. Don't mind me. I'm just reading from these golden plates. Of course, I myself cannot comprehend what these say, but one man could. His name is Joseph Smith, and he is the founder of what we today know as the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And yeah, I can't read these, but I have this book, and on chapter 10, they talk about LDS, and oh boy, they are interesting. One of the reasons I study religion and mythology is that I enjoy stories about the divine and the otherworldly beings. And in LDS, there are a lot of interesting stories. My favorite one is about the Heavenly Father and his spirits in heaven. These spirits are fascinating, as they're all offsprings from the Heavenly Father, and these spirits have a cycles they go through to become gods themselves. From what I've gathered from the book, one starts out as a spirit with the Heavenly Father. This is called the first estate. Then one is given the opportunity to prove oneself, which means a spirit is given a human body to possess down on earth. Now, this possession is not a ghostly possession, but it's not a merging of the body and soul yet, but it is a spirit and a human body together down on earth. This is actually the second time they're giving an opportunity to prove themselves, as the first time was with Lucifer and his fall. But we shall return to that later. Now, the spirit, turned into a human, is now on earth to prove themselves that they can follow the divine commands, even with free will and temptation from Satan. This is the second estate, and here obedience is a virtue. Once the human dies, they are judged if they lived a worthy enough life. If yes, they are granted access to heaven, and depending on their achievement in life and worthiness, they are granted a place in one of three heavens. Then the body and the spirit finally merge together in what is called a glorious body. This process is called glorification. And now they shall live as gods, goddesses, kings and queens in the third estate for all eternity. Let us circle back to Lucifer and his fall, because in the LDS they have a very dramatic spin on the story. You see, as everyone once was a spirit in heaven, together with the Heavenly Father, everyone is technically brothers and sisters. And this includes Lucifer and the big brother himself, Jesus Christ. In fact, there is drama between these brothers, as once upon a time, before the fall, during the heavenly council, Lucifer and Jesus stood on opposite sides. Lucifer's plan for salvation would abuse human free agency in a scheme of compulsion, while Jesus would bring salvation through great personal cost. The Heavenly Father rejected Lucifer and chose Jesus instead, angered at this favoritism towards his big brother. Lucifer adopted the new identity of Satan, and now, until forevermore, he is on a goal to tempt humanity away from godhood and into sin. He was cast out of heaven along with a third of the spirits who sided with Lucifer. The remaining spirits in heaven are granted the option to prove themselves once more on earth, which I talked about earlier. I really like this tale, and I found another more funnier way to tell this tale is that Lucifer, angry at his father, goes for a little emo face and rebels against their normal family. But that's just a little funny way of interpreting the story. What is important is that LDS is a death-conquering religion, and thus godhood after a worthy and obedient life is a core principle and goal. This is what I found most interesting about the LDS. And I've talked about what one could call a mythology of LDS beliefs. I do like these stories about heaven and hell and spirit much more than the actual history of the LDS Church. And even though it's probably more important to learn about how Joseph Smith's little small religion turned big and how it affected the world, I do prefer an epic narrative that takes you on a journey beyond humanity. But alas, one may only temporarily escape reality and delve into the fictions of the mind. I must return to my lectures. But thank you for watching and listening to me ramble about stories of hell and heaven in LDS beliefs.